What happens, we are totally prepared.
This is your victory. Now, I know you didn't do this just to win an election. And I know you didn't do it for me. You did it because you understand the enormity of the task that lies ahead.
You're not going to believe this. He killed 16 Czechoslovakians. Guy was an interior decorator. His house looked like shit.
What?
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
Welcome, everybody. Today is 10/24. He doesn't understand liberals or transgender people or transmissions. It's TJ. What's up, buddy?
I understand manual transmissions.
Okay.
Definitely not transgenders.
I don't understand the Electoral College or Blacks for Trump. I'm Coach Casey. What's up, everybody? I don't know. It came out. It was written better. I don't know. It was going to be better, but
I think it maybe sounded better in your head than it.
I think it's still like, it was the delivery, because we've talked about you not liking trans people or not understanding them. We've talked about your dislike or not understanding liberals. So it's been a couple weeks. I mean,
it feels weird. Like on the way over here, I was like, I feel like
I've done 2 shows with the other guys since we were together. We've had 2 shows out since. You had your kids last week, so we took a little time off, back together, airing the studio out, getting all the smoky smells out of here. It takes a couple days. What do you think, buddy?
I think it smells good in here, and it
smells
feels
beautiful.
good outside. We got some rain today. That was awesome. And then I worked from home the rest of the day today.
Oh, did you? You got to work from home?
I took a 1-hour nap.
Okay.
Yep.
Hopefully no bosses are listening to this.
Oh, fuck. Can you edit that part out?
I will. I'll go back and take care of that.
Okay.
If you're listening to us, you've hopefully found us on Anchor, on iTunes, on Stitcher, Spotify. I think we're still downloading on Podbean. If you find us, videos will be on the Facebook, will be on Twitter, will be on YouTube. We're going to figure it out and try to get it to go live a little bit more. We talked about it before the show. TJ has this habit of bringing up all the things he wants to do right before the show. But in his defense, he had his kids last week, so he was focused on them, and he didn't have all week to text me all of his ideas throughout the week.
Nope.
So he walked in the studio and then just started saying, everything we've been doing is stupid. We should try to do everything different. Can we do it now?
Let's try it right now.
Right now. And I said,
I think we should try it while we're live.
We could. We could stop what we're doing and go live. I mean, you could always, while we're doing an episode, pull up. But we need to get your Facebook loaded up with our account. Then you could go live and do a video while we're sitting here. I mean, there's all kinds of options. Today is, I said it already, 10/24. Famous today, a couple things. Because stock market's going up and down. In 1929 was Black Thursday, which was at that time like the biggest drop to the stock market ever, which was like 12.8% or something in the Dow and something else. And then fast forward to 2008, it's what they call Bloody Friday, which was the biggest single day crash across the board at that time. Most money lost. And looks like we might be heading back to now. It's been a rough year for it. I don't think we should be hit with one of those. Also, in 1981, the first rivet of the Statue of Liberty was put in. I don't know what that matters.
81?
1881.
There you go.
1881. And in 2021, on this day, Tom Brady threw his 600th passing touchdown, becoming the first NFL player, first player in history to ever get 600 passing touchdowns or 600 touchdowns. So that's a pretty big deal. That's more than probably the next. Okay, if you minus the next 3 or 4, and then you could pick 5 of them, and I don't know if.
Well, we just talked about it on our last show that Troy Aikman only threw 167.
100, in his entire career.
His whole career, yeah.
And he's in the top 20, I'm guessing, or in that range. So, but you could combine probably 12 through 15, and they don't get 600 touchdowns. He's looking that up. Also, in 1962, the Manchurian Candidate was released with Frank Sinatra, and that's basically.
Didn't they remake that?
Yeah, I think it has been, but that was basically a Korean War veteran is trapped or captured by Nazi and is brainwashed and then comes back to be an unwilling assassin. So kind of a cool story. And back in that time was a big deal because a lot of that was going on.
20th place is Dave Craig, 261.
Okay. So I guess.
You go all the way down. He's not even in the top 50.
Man.
Alex Smith is 199.
There you go. He should be in the Hall of Fame minus.
Yeah.
So I guess you could take 3 of the best quarterbacks of all time and,
Yeah. Drew Brees, Peyton Manning both had over Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, and Drew Brees. And
the only
Tom Brady.
quarterbacks even over 500.
Yeah, and I'm sure Aaron Rodgers, unless
I don't know. He
quits this
should
year.
retire this season. If he
not going so
doesn't,
hot.
yeah, I don't know where he'll go. Maybe he'll go to the Denver
Dude,
this year.
Look how jacked he looks right there.
Who?
Drew Brees.
Oh yeah,
Veins,
he was.
bro.
Yeah, that was on his roid years when he was coming back after the injury.
After you get injured, well,
you got roid. You get 2 years where you don't get drug
you don't get tested. Yeah, you pump up on the HGH.
Speaking of that, we'll get there when we go to the UFC. But I just seen. So it's all this stuff on Conor McGregor supposed to be fighting soon. Well, it just got announced. Well, it's at least 6 months.
Yeah,
before
I saw that.
He hasn't. They've been asking him, and everybody's been making the jokes about him being yoked and on roids.
He does look big.
Biggest he's ever looked. He posted some video yesterday of him. I don't know if it's real weed or not, but he's all jacked, riding in a limo, smoking a joint.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dana said after he enters into the USADA again, 6 months before he can fight.
And then there was a story he may have already actually entered in USADA since, and that I don't know. So we'll see, because he's running out of years, I guess. Not really as far as, but for UFC championship. After watching this week, he has no relevance at 155. I don't know where his relevance would be right now.
Probably 170.
Yeah. And even there, I guess we'd have to look at where he fits in there. But I don't know. I didn't really have anything else for stories. I did have one thing which happened at work today is what brought it up. But it was a question for you, was the worst places to be trapped. And I'm thinking like it could be anything. I mean, really something you can't get out of, essentially. It could be a building. It could be whatever that is. Maybe you had an older sibling that used to, like my case was, my brother used to like lock us in our hallway closet.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a push. You had to pull it open or, whatever.
Like one of those accordion.
Yeah. So, no, it was just it opened out or whatever. But he just leaned against it.
And
I couldn't do nothing because there was the claws, or it wasn't
Didn't
big
have enough room to
push or do anything.
Yeah.
So it was a little closet. And then I said, my other one was casket. Because you joke about that, like getting in one sometime or whatever, and somebody closes on you. And then the actual scariest one to me be like in the backwoods and get caught in a snare, like a foot trap, one of those things you see in the movies where you get held up because you're just waiting for where you get shot up in the air, and there's like some boy comes on, you're in the wrong part of town, boy. That's a pretty mouth.
Mm-hmm. And just face fucks you right there.
I don't know how they do it. Yes.
I would assume that would happen
That's
first.
how I would do it if I was snaring people. Do you have a place that you'd be scared to get trapped or have any
I didn't
fears?
used to. You see, like in certain movies or situations, you're like, "Fuck, man, I wouldn't want to be in that," and you don't think you're claustrophobic until you watch something like that, and you're like, "There's no fucking way." Like I can think of like times where, just for situations around the farm or at work or something, when you've had to crawl into something, I'm like, "Fuck that." Like my dad worked at Boeing for a long time. He said they used to crawl out into the wings to work on that.
Uh-huh.
Fuck that.
Well, see, I have another one that I'm thinking while we're talking about it. My grandpa's house is an old enough house that it didn't have underground plumbing when it was built.
So like crawl space.
So when my dad and his brother were young, they went through with 5-gallon buckets and dug out where the pipes would go under there. And my grandpa would tie a rope to them.
Yeah, to pull them out.
And pull them out, say if they got caught or whatever were to happen.
Yeah.
Well, when fast forward 30 years or whatever, we're kids, it's time to clean out. A bunch of dirt's fallen over years. It's time to clean.
Redig.
The trails are there, but you got to get in there. So it's the same thing. So it's me at like 8, 9, because I'm the youngest, goes in first, and there's the older cousins are behind me.
Yeah.
I go in and I make the first couple passes at it, and I get in there. Then you get a bigger one in there, and then a bigger one until they can't go no more. Then I go back at it, and you end up, it was 2 entrances to this, and it's not a big house, but it's pretty big. But you end up 50, 60 foot underneath of a house. Well, luckily at some point, my brother or my cousins freaked out enough that they came up with a plan. At least
Made it turn around?
Yes, halfway in, they made it to where you could at least turn to crawl back out, because
That's
that was the
pretty smart.
worst, was having to back
Yeah.
up 50 feet, not knowing. You think
If you're going straight,
could shit collapse on you while you're under there? So
That'd be pretty scary.
So that was one of mine.
Yeah, I'm not. I know my wife's real claustrophobic, but like I don't like think about it, but like I don't want to be in it. You know, it's not like something I actively
it goes
fear.
to me. I do have it, I guess, because that's the reason why I won't go on a cruise. It's not even everybody says you're on a boat and but you can't get off. There's no way out. If something happens or you're trapped or
you're fucked.
You're just there. I know there's lifeboats. Well, I've seen Titanic. I don't think I would be in the first group.
You don't want to be on that boat with that bitch that won't let you share her raft either.
No, I'm gonna be in there. You know.
They luckily
of course, I wouldn't take a cold cruise. All my cruises would be like Caribbean or
they
Caribbean.
let women and cripples off first, so you'd be all right.
Hopefully, I don't get my back surgery too soon, so I don't. So basically, what brought that on was we're sitting there, and the FedEx guy had came, and somebody had checked him in, whatever, and then he was gone. So about 30 minutes go by, and one of the salesmen walks by, and he's like, "Dude," I'm like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "I just had to let the FedEx guy out of the back of his truck." He has a box. I know, but he has a box truck. It's a rental, and he hopped
like
up
a
in
Hertz
there.
one or something like that.
Yeah, like a Penske, and he hopped up in the back there, and that thing closed, and that thing locked. So our salesman walks by, and he hears a dude banging on there. "Somebody help me! I'm trapped in the back of the truck."
No shit.
And he thought it was a joke because I like to play games.
Yeah.
He thought he started looking around, opens it up. The dude's like, "Thank you so much."
Luckily, it's not fucking hot outside.
Yeah, and this kid, he's a super good kid. I'm gonna mess with him next time we see him.
Oh,
but he's like,
for real.
He's like, "Man, I called my boss like 10 minutes ago. I waited like 20 minutes and was freaking out." I'm like, "Dude, you have your phone in there. Look up our phone number and call." I didn't get that far, but he's a young kid. So, which leads me to one way too soon, but worst joke ever. Okay, so he opens up the back of the back of the box truck. Kid jumps out and he says, "Thank you." And my response to the guy that found him was, "Last time I found a group of people in a box truck, it didn't turn out so good."
Like that they're migrants, or.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that you heard that story and where the guys got left there. So that
shit, that happens probably way more than you hear
but
about.
that one was a huge story recently, and that's where it was way too soon. But also, I don't know if it's the worst joke ever, but it's good.
No, that's a pretty good joke.
Right when I said it, the old guy behind me goes, "Oh," and the lady sitting there, because I always test out my audience. So I've got a 63-year-old, 62-year-old gal sits beside me, and a 63-year-old guy that sits behind me. So
and they both think you're a pussy liberal, right?
Yes, they're both Republicans and think I'm a pussy liberal, but they both go, "Oh,"
They're like, "You're not supposed to say that."
And I said, "Was that too soon?" And she goes, "I thought it was pretty good." So
yeah,
that was all I had for stories.
I got a couple for you here.
We did.
How do you feel about the McRib?
Well, obviously,
You don't eat it.
even when I ate meat, I thought it was the weirdest, funkiest cut of meat.
That is disgusting, right there. Those onions. But
Yeah,
it
you
says
hate onions.
right here, headline in the story:
Maybe
McRib
last time.
is coming back this week for what McDonald's says is the last time. Why the hell would they do that? Let's see. McDonald's announced that the McRib is back in stores starting this week, which I should probably go there. This will be another limited engagement for the wonderful sandwich, as the restaurant says it will only be offered until November 20th. So what do we got, like 3 weeks? And that they're calling it the farewell tour.
I've heard in the past, and we'll see what the actual reason is. We've heard in the past that it's the boxes. It's something unique to
Too
them.
expensive.
And then
Why don't they just wrap the shit?
Yeah,
just like everything
they
else.
used to do it in bag, and then something about the bun. But
So why is McDonald's killing this sandwich off? Is this just a publicity stunt so idiots like me will write about this BBQ flavored delight? I'm guessing that's a strategy. It must just be hard to constantly think of new reasons to keep bringing the McRib back. So they're calling bullshit.
And that one of the radio stations I listened to in the morning, or the podcast, the guys were freaking out because it was back. And that's one of the guys. He's kind of the foodie or whatever. So everything that's back, like whenever the fries at Taco Bell are back, or the taco pizza or whatever, the Mexican pizza, he always brings that up. And so he had went and got them all on the way in.
On your top 3 list of foods that you can eat that make you shit in a very fast time, what would you say would that be? McRib's pretty up there.
See, for me, it would be any breakfast, like 24-hour breakfast burrito.
Okay.
Because that was, when we used to do snow removal, we'd all do that, and that was the cleanser.
Yeah.
The cheesy bean and rice burrito, which is a staple in my
Yep.
in my life and a staple for me going to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if I really anything from any pizza kind of gets the grease gets me. But
Mine's like greasy pizza, B-dubs. That's like time limit. And the McRib's up there on that list too.
See, and I'm the opposite because if I go to a place like B-dubs, I can only stock up on all the cheesy things, so
Yeah.
I don't poop for a month after.
And my cheese thing is, like I was telling somebody about it just recently. I was like, I was talking to a guy at the gym about it this morning, and I was saying, well, I am lactose intolerant, so when I eat cheese, I'm just fucking spinning. I'm spinning the.
Yeah, you're playing the clock or
Yeah,
whatever.
It's not a good idea, but I go for it anyway because it's delicious.
Well, that's what I had a kid I used to work with, and he was like, "Oh, I'm lactose intolerant." I said, "Like the kind that makes you sick?" He's like, "No, it just makes me like crap or fart a bunch." And I said, live your life, man.
Yeah,
Live
I
your
mean,
life.
Sometimes it's
certain
forms of cheese. It's weird. Like
I
the
have
closer it
irritable
is to
bowel,
milk.
so basically just getting grumpy makes me, messes up my
Yeah.
stomach. So it's not necessarily a foods thing with me.
Mine's just the closer form it is to milk.
Yeah.
So like, obviously, I would
See,
never
I don't drink milk.
Milk
but-
would be like obviously number one that I would never do. Number two would be ice cream. Every once in a while, I'll get a little ballsy with it, and it's instant regret. And then I don't eat cottage cheese. That would be right up there.
Yeah.
But the
See,
closer it is like to uncooked cheese, the more.
See, I don't know if I'm lactose intolerant, but I mean, I do. Obviously, I love cheese things, but I'm
Mhm.
also that guy that doesn't. I don't over like cheese too. I have
But
depending.
if you're
on,
getting pizza, it's a cheese pizza.
yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'll also love some breadsticks or whatever. But yeah.
My stepdaughter Bristol is the only kid I've ever known that doesn't like cheese. Like she likes cheese pizza and she
Uh-huh.
likes cheese sticks. Don't put it on nothing else because that girl ain't gonna eat it.
Well, she don't like yellow cheese though. She hasn't been exposed to all the good cheeses.
No, she
maybe.
just won't, man.
Yeah.
Like if we're getting
Well, that's how-
hamburgers,
I don't-
it's a hamburger, not a cheeseburger. She's like, oh, gross.
See, I don't like well, I was a lot that way too. Even I liked burgers without cheese.
Yeah.
My wife puts cheese on everything, and I'm, I don't.
If it's baked, I mean,
But she'll, we'll make like little bean and cheese burritos or whatever, and she throws a piece of cheese on those and cooks them, or
Yeah.
shredded cheese all over them. And like me, I'll make a breakfast burrito, and I just throw a little bit of cheese in there, and she'll make a cheese burrito with a little bit of breakfast.
yeah.
That's where we differ.
So, growing up, one of the shows we watched, and I'm sure you watched it too, was Boy Meets World, right?
Yeah.
Who would you say was the hottest chick on Boy Meets World?
I think it was as far as us because of age that way it was Topanga, but then the one dude's brother always had some hot girlfriends.
What about the redhead?
I don't remember. See, I never was a redhead. Who's the redhead on
No,
there?
but you don't. It was what's Eric's girlfriend?
Okay, there we go. That's why I said it was always one.
Do you know what she does now?
I'm guessing a porn star.
She is a porn star.
There we go.
Yep.
She looks like she
So
can pull it off.
how we found this out? I found out from
Because
Bristol.
you always look out famous porn
No,
stars.
Bristol's been watching Boy Meets World. I don't know what it's on.
Yeah,
and they were like-
there's a new one that's back out. That
Well, she already watched that, so she's watching original Boy
Okay.
Meets World. She wants to see Corey and Sean as
Yeah.
younger.
kids in Topanga.
And they were looking her up, and she was like, Bristol's like, she's the prettiest. So Sarah and Bristol start Googling her up, and first thing up pops up porn, and Bristol's like, what is that? So, I mean, I obviously had to do my research
Yeah.
and, check up on some of these. So former Boy Meets World star Maitland Ward left family-friendly entertainment behind to launch a career in the adult film industry as an aforementioned porn website. She's 42 years old, and she played Rachel on Boy Meets World. I'm pretty sure she was Eric's. That was his name, right?
Was that the older brother?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought for some reason I'm thinking he was one of the girlfriends of the other his
Sean?
buddy. Yeah.
I think she dated. Well, I think she was when they went to college.
She looked better in the first picture than there.
This one?
Yeah, she looks pretty there. Down there in that whatever. That must be younger still.
Yeah, I'm
'Cause she
not
does
sure.
not look good in the other one. I mean, still has nice boombies, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, she's not bad.
Yeah, no, that's on camera. We can do this. He's checking on Mexico's search engine
Yeah,
here,
it's,
doing his research.
There she is.
Yeah, I
Well, let me. Little technical difficulty here. I mean, there she is. I mean, she's still acting. Look,
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. I mean, I
Like
think I
watching
liked her work better in Boy Meets World.
watching this reminded me of like the first time I saw China doing this type of acting.
Threw you off.
Yeah, it threw me off. I mean, she kind of got that face though.
Yeah. Yeah. She seems to enjoy her work, but
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know why she didn't, take off. Why didn't she stay in the actual acting
if
world?
you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. That's what they
That's
say.
true.
So
Well, she's working.
she's
so.
doing it, and that was a big surprise to me. And never know what your 14-year-old daughter will come up with.
You
know?
wonder how that would be another topic for the show sometime. How many, ex-actors and actresses have followed that lifestyle?
But now
or
it's
came
not.
from it.
They don't necessarily have to go Pornhub route where they can go.
Yeah, you can just go OnlyFans.
Yeah, because I mean, you look up almost.
I seen something the other day, and I didn't know that there was an actual OnlyFans channel. So this was something. It was an advertisement that came through, but it was all these girls from OnlyFans getting together and going like riding 4-wheelers.
No, just like chilling.
But it was it's like I don't know, whatever all those shows where they end up putting them together at some point. And
What was your favorite like early '90s show to watch? Like go to
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, that was always mine. It was easy. It was.
What about like Friday nights? Were you like more of like Urkel, or did you like?
I watched Family Matters.
What was the other one?
But I watched Growing Pains, Family Matters.
Step by Step is one I'm thinking of.
I
was pretty big into that chick. The kind of sporty one.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched Who's the Boss. I was always a Alyssa Milano guy. But yeah, I could pretty much watch 90 or 90210. I watched that.
I never really was into that.
I didn't watch the other one, the Melrose Place, but I watched the 90210. I watched all the shows.
She was Rachel McGuire, 45 episodes.
We didn't have the options of channels to pick, what you wanted to watch.
I never had cable growing up. I had a.
We did.
My parents still don't have any kind of. I mean, who does anymore? Really?
We had, whatever basic cable for the most part. Always growing up, but different times we didn't. But we pretty much had basic cable.
Did you hear about the Weber State's long snapper?
No, what do we got there?
My boy had a bad day. He had 4 airmail snaps that resulted in 4 safeties.
But after 2 of them, is that the coach's fault or is that dude's fault? You don't have nobody else that
can hike the ball.
I wonder if he's the center or if he's that guy that just comes into long.
I think he's just the long snapper because he had like a different number, like 47. So the first of 4 was from their own 19-yard line.
I'm a former long snapper, 145-pound long snapper. Even only 1 year did I long snap varsity because I only 1 year was not good enough to play regular you know what I mean? But my junior year beginning, I long snapped.
But you guys did a lot of long snapping. I would assume a lot. Yeah,
a lot. And I was pretty good at it. But
like every 4th play, I would assume was a snap.
Sometimes we got 5. Sometimes we got 6. We got 6th place sometimes. Sometimes 7.
Yeah. So the first one was from the 19, and it went through the back of the end zone at least 29 yards. The second one bounced around in the end zone and was a safety. The third one came from their own 30.
Well, we'll say this, dude. Play that one at least real quick.
Which one? This one?
No, the one from the 30, that one.
Okay, yep. Here's the 30.
Let's see this. I'm going to put that one on the punter. That punter needs to get some he's got to jump.
But, I mean, the first one, here, we'll just do them.
Yeah, he rocketed
the very first one went over his head, like, by a mile. I mean, Jesus Christ.
That was pretty bad. That one, it was almost like somebody bet him he couldn't.
Yeah, they're like, hey, I bet
you
can't fucking just make this the worst. That one, ridiculous. And then let's see.
Go back to that third one on full screen because I want to see.
There's no way he got to ride the bus home. No fucking way. Coach was like, you stay here.
That was a little high. But, here's my other thing.
That's a good-looking field.
after a couple of those, don't you stand back 5 more feet, 10 more feet?
Yeah, I mean, you think of like, I don't trust this dude. And here's the fourth one.
Let's see if this one was his fault. That one was his fault too. That was a little right and a little high. But now, you're telling me if that kicker was that far, he's not going to try?
But they were off. He did the right thing and kicked it out of bounds. But
guess what? It looks like it helped him, and they came back to win. No, I don't know. Did they end up winning?
I don't know who won, but my man, he's wearing that 40s number because that's 49.
He got cut from the team.
There's
today.
no way he's still on the team.
I don't
today.
know how you couldn't, unless it was a joke. They were like.
So where do you think? Where's Weber State?
I'm gonna say Northeast.
So
They're
he's
all Northeast.
Or it's not Weber, it's Weber, right?
Yeah.
Weber State. Weber State.
So
no way he.
Would you rather be him or Jimmy Garoppolo right now, who got his?
Jimmy Garoppolo's handsome. That's
true.
Smashing whatever he wants.
I forgot you like him.
Well, I mean, don't you think?
No, we talked about this. He's not even in my top 5.
No,
I don't think he's.
We've already decided that your gay check is not very good.
I don't know.
Where is that? Looks like in Utah. So I mean, I guess if he had to walk from Montana to around Salt Lake, that wouldn't be.
That wouldn't be too.
bad.
From
here to there, he
surely could like a ride share or something. I bet there's.
He probably had
a phone. I mean.
If they probably took that away too.
Whatever the other team paid him to do that, he had that in his pocket. That going
it's
for
$40,
or 60 or whatever.
They're like, hey, you're gonna need to give 2 handies, and you're good.
I had one game I think where I had like 2 bad snaps, and one was kind of the opposite worst of that, where like I don't know what happened, but I like nosed it into the ground right so it rolled back like 4 feet. And then the punter just had to go run up there and jump on it. And then we just gave him the ball right there. But I've never actually, I take that back. One time the game, I knew I'd got in trouble. So I only played 3 games my senior year, and Keith was running his mouth like in the huddle before, like if I could get some protection. And I said, if you could throw the ball, even if we protected you, it wouldn't matter. And he said, try blocking 1 play, Grundon. And we were on like the 4. So I just laid flat down, and he got crushed in the end zone. And then I said, you want to block
look what happened.
Yeah, I know.
That's your fault.
It was my fault he started doing meth.
When we were in middle school, a kid in my class, Grant Winter, had a negative punt. He kicked it, and it went over his head.
We had one of those. I had one, my probably best play like in football ever was like my 7th or 8th grade year, but it was one of those snap, and I play an outside linebacker. I just took off and then jumped right over the guard before he could even get up, and hit like the running back as he was coming through on the goal line and got the safety.
Nice.
But it was against like Douglas or somebody that wasn't great, but still.
Douglas was always decent when we were younger, but
not, yeah. But neither were we, so they were a fun match for us.
Well, Conway's completely turned it around. They beat the number 1 team in the state since we talked last,
there we go.
And they won the district. So whatever happened before, and that kid, their running back has like 1,500 yards or something. What about that kid I sent you? 3,000 yards.
Belle Plaine got another score this week, so.
Oh.
We're going to do
I didn't know things were going so great.
Do we want to do, I did watch UFC this week, and I had some stuff that made me real mad.
I don't know anything about it. So
this week was a good card. It was Islam, which is Khabib's.
I did see that. He won, right?
Yeah, he's like his right-hand man against Charles Olivier, or whatever you say his name. And then you had Sterling versus Dillashaw, and then Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley.
What was that thing that I sent you with Dillashaw where he said, you're a cheater or something like that? And he's like, you get these nuts.
Yeah. So I started out because it was a weird one because they were in Abu Dhabi. So it started like, it was supposed to start
early,
like 7 our time, but instead it started like at 9:30. There was a bunch of good undercard fights, but I didn't know who none of the guys are. We'll get to the main event, and the first two chicks that fought, it was one of those kind of chick fights where you're kind of like, that was a badass fight. Like they were
like really beating the shit out of each other.
Going at it, and it went to decision, but they went at it the entire time and were like slugging and taking shots and walking into him. It was pretty badass. And then the next fight I missed most of because I was in transition from work to here. But then we get to the one that matters to me. which kind of pissed me off too. The Sean O'Malley, you know who he is, don't you?
Yeah, the guy with the
colored hair,
purple hair,
dreads,
yeah.
and all that. Well, he fought that Peter Yan dude, and
That's a guy you like, right?
yeah, I like him. He's a little stud. He's just a little stocky, compact dude. Good on the ground, good standing up. He had, so like the biggest thing I take out of it, went to decision. Never let a fight go to decision if you want to win. But O'Malley won. Well, he was 0 for 1 on takedowns. Yan had 6 of 12 takedowns. So 6 fights. He had 7 minutes of top control in a 3-round fight. So in 15 minutes of the fight, he was on top of him for 7 minutes of him.
O'Malley was?
No,
The other
Yan
guy?
was on top. He had 2 submission attempts. And then he actually outstruck him when it comes to striking, but when it came to power shots, it was like 69 O'Malley, 58 for Yan, and they gave the fight to O'Malley. And they just want him to fight in that championship fight so bad that it just kind of
So
sucks.
who do they want him to fight?
The bantamweight guy, which is God dang it, they talked about it because he came in the ring after. I don't even remember who it is. And then the next fight, Sterling and Dillashaw hadn't, like, apparently they do open fights like all week and you watch them spar and do all this.
Yeah.
Well, he had closed his camp up like 3 weeks ago and wasn't letting nothing come in there. He wasn't doing no open sparring, and everybody was kind of wondering, what was going on. Like 2 minutes into the fight, he gets taken down. Left shoulder pops right out of place.
Oh, shit.
Sterling doesn't realize it, and I don't think his corner does, but the announcers right away. His shoulder came out, and he's defending himself on the ground for 2 minutes with one arm.
Dillashaw was?
Yeah, they get back up, and with like 30 seconds left, and then that's finally when they realize it, because he's like, his arm's not in yet. He's trying to get it in himself, but he can't. So he's basically defending with one hand and kind of striking, and he didn't have enough time. And then beginning pretty quick into the second round, he just attacked him and then TKO'd him. And but you see it in between rounds, like the ref, apparently he went up to the ref at the beginning of the fight and told him, I promise my shoulder's going to come out of place. Don't stop the fight with it for it unless I say it. It's not going to cut any nerves. It's been happening, I guess, all training camp. So he knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
He said, I want to fight. And so in between, the officials like, you sure you want to keep fighting? And you hear the guy, you watch him get back in place, and he's like, yep. And then even then, he still doesn't have it quite right. You can
Those
tell.
dudes are crazy.
I know. And especially Dillashaw is that dude that he's never going to be known as a champion because of the roid thing he got busted with right after. And then he's also that guy never lost his belt. He had to give it up. And then the last fight, it did not go. It didn't. That Islam dude was number 4 coming into the fight, but he dominated him, man. I mean, really, it should have. Apparently, he wasn't supposed to be as good at stand up, but the first,
Kind of like Khabib.
yeah, the first round it was pretty even. I mean, it was more like a feeling out thing, but then in the second round, it was like the weirdest shot knocked him to the ground, and then he got on. I mean, literally straight to like full guard, right into a freaking front side choke, and then like within just a couple seconds tapped him. I mean, it was just how crazy he went into it. It's just insane. So it was good fights, man. I enjoyed it, and especially for free. So.
Oh, it was a free fight, or
no, but
somebody hooked you up with it?
I got hooked up with it.
Yeah, you know a guy.
I know a guy that knows a guy.
Yeah,
So we watched that, but it was good fights. And my son, he kind of doesn't care, but he liked him. He likes Sterling like I do, but he likes Yan too. But he's an O'Malley guy, so
Yeah.
he's like, go O'Malley. I didn't like it. And then I forgot that Dana gave 2 people performance of the night for whatever reason. Both fighters of one fight. He gave them performance of the night and gave them both the $50,000 bonus.
kind of like when Stephen Bonner and
And it was kind of that thing where he's like, of course, the fight of the night. And I think it was the fight right before the main card because it was 2 heavyweights that went at it. It was an awesome fight.
is
man.
Greg Hardy still in the UFC? Or
No,
is
he is bare knuckle fighting,
okay.
I believe now, because I watched his first one because he lost his last 3 fights in the UFC. So he's doing the bare knuckle thing.
Yeah.
No, he did a boxing match in between that, and he fought some. You need to try to find it because it's horrible. The dude he fought's like some guy he shouldn't be fighting, and he like knocks him out, and then like gets over him and starts acting bad. And it was like, dude, I mean,
You
it's like,
you were just in the UFC.
Yeah, and it would be like me fighting my son, or of course,
Yeah.
I'd say that my son probably whooped my ass, but it wasn't a fair fight. Did you end up watching any college football at all?
I watched the Penn State part of that. I was kind of flipping back and forth because I was betting on a bunch of games, and I've done fuck that all the way. Oh, I watched Oklahoma State, Texas, the end of that. I was traveling that day taking my kids back, so I kind of
we called
listened
it.
to
We
the
said that
KU game.
Oklahoma State. We said the Oklahoma State Texas game was going to be an awesome game. It was a freaking real good game. The Syracuse Clemson game. Syracuse should have won that.
Yep.
Clemson brings in their backup, comes back and wins it. I don't know.
Yeah,
what.
I saw that. What's his name? Coach. I want to say
Dabo?
Bubba. Dabo said it's Ungalea's job. So
Yeah, he's still the starter.
yeah.
He was having a bad game. I think he had like 4 turnovers, and
Yeah.
they pulled him,
K-State lost to TCU.
which was a damn good game. And
Yep.
K-State was ahead.
I think
They were
Adrian
down-
Martinez got hurt too because
Yeah, they were down to their third. They got 2 quarterbacks taken out. That's now. It's either 5 or 6 quarterbacks that TCU has taken out this season.
they took our quarterback out.
I know. Oh, I know. They listed them.
Oh
And,
yeah.
Yeah, it was 6 quarterbacks. So they took out 3 that game. They took out yours and then 2 others in one
We just
game.
haven't. I mean, we're hanging in every one of these games, but we're just not the. Jason Bean just makes. There's a reason why was a backup, and then when your starting quarterback was a top player in the
A Heisman
nation,
candidate, yeah.
Heisman candidate, I guess you could say early on, and then our starting running back gets hurt, he's out for the season. One of our best corners. I mean, I'm not making excuses, but there's a reason why KU's losing these close games.
Well, here's what I'll say.
And we got Oklahoma State next.
KU does not have the. That's what it comes down to with
The
all
depth,
these teams.
yeah.
Yeah, all these teams. You hear even a Deion Sanders or one of them guys talk about
Yeah.
like those schools. He says,
We have the talent.
yeah, the skill position. Like I
We're
can match
there.
up my top receiver to their top receiver, my running back, my quarterback. But then when I go one below that, or my
There's, yeah,
line, the
not even
defensive line,
comparison.
the offensive line, that's
Alabama has 3 tiers of that.
Yeah.
You just can't compete. When your guys come out that need a rest, you don't have
Yeah.
that. Alabama brings in a guy that's better, that's just as good as your first guy.
they bring in
and
a
you're-
4-star to
Yeah.
back up their 5-star,
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's a. Have you heard Dion talk about like all of his rules and shit like that?
Yeah.
Dude's hardcore.
Yeah.
But he's still Dion too.
Oh,
But
yeah.
He's like none of this shit apply to me because I'm Dion. I'm prime.
That's
baby.
what he said. But he talks. I don't know. I would be torn to be
You think he'll be there next year?
probably. He says he doesn't want to coach NFL.
I guess he's definitely not coaching it. I guess he'd probably stay until his son's gone.
Yeah, and I don't know where he would want to go. I don't know where
He's
because
gonna get a D1 gig somewhere.
I don't
I'd
know
like
that
to be cool if he
his-
went to Florida State. That'd be cool.
that'd be cool. I don't know that his game transfers, but that's hard to say until you do it. So that's hard to
He'll
say.
get
Because
he'll
right
get
now
the
he is
recruits because he's
he
Deion
is
Sanders.
winning because he has D1 kids going to a historically black college.
Yeah.
He has guys that were between Alabama, Clemson, and him. He has besides his son,
Yeah,
he has a bunch of I don't know what he does with the that's what's always hard to say. We did have the game I watched most of, Oregon UCLA, the Chip Kelly Bowl, and Oregon. It was close early, and then Oregon came out. I didn't expect that because UCLA's been the whole game was fun to watch.
It doesn't matter. Oregon, whoever, if they make it very far, if they get into a bowl game, they're gonna
fall on their
They're gonna
face.
get their ass kicked.
Yeah, because
Who do you guys got next week?
we Michigan State.
That's the game you said you're losing too.
Yeah.
You stand by that?
No, no, but I told you right when we picked it, I didn't stand by it. I just
Well,
said I had to pick one, and I
so-
wasn't picking that other team we're going to lose to.
They do play Ohio State, right?
Yeah, last game of the year. We don't ever, ever not play
No,
Ohio
okay.
State. No matter what'll happen. If the season's condensed down to 2 games, it'll be
Ohio State and Michigan State.
Yeah. or
Probably
maybe
so.
Penn State.
Yeah.
And we haven't got to talk since that game, that Penn State game that happened last time. I don't think we've had a
No.
show since then, and Michigan came out and stomped them. I was a little worried going into that one. In first half, it was close, but they were off this week, so it was a nice little break. I had a bunch of crap to do, but
Oh, I did watch part of that LSU
Mississippi game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they looked good again. LSU had been struggling. Alabama came out angry after their loss.
Bring
Tennessee,
up the new top 25.
Tennessee did not.
Oh, we missed that. You know, the Alabama, Tennessee. It was back there. Go to rankings, top right.
Georgia number 1, Ohio State 2, Tennessee 3, Michigan 4, Clemson 5, Alabama 6. They moved back because didn't they go to like 8 or something?
I think they might have bumped down.
And then TCU jumps to 7, which they're not really getting a. Of course, I don't know there's no team above them besides Alabama that you could put them above, but Alabama could lose. They're just,
TCU's already beat everybody. They beat Oklahoma State, OU, KU, Kansas State.
Yeah. No, they've played.
They're good.
Everybody they've played good, and
it'd be interesting. So let's talk about how does this work again? They do 8 teams, right? 6 teams?
For what, the playoffs?
Yeah.
It's just 4 this year still.
I thought like 2 get a bye, and then
I don't think so. I think it's just the 4, man.
I thought there's like a play-in game.
Here, let's just do it. 2000. Oh, I got to click on something.
I thought that like there's 6 teams and then 2 play in.
I know they're going to be changing it, but
well, yeah.
Is it going to be 23 by the time we have this one?
I thought there were 6 teams.
No, it's just 2. It's the Final Four because that's what the whole push down to.
They're going to go to 12.
Yeah, I'm ready for that. That'll be, I think, about 1 billion times more fun. I don't know. I can't. Yeah, it's just 4, and it's the top 4 at the end of the year.
I thought, yeah. Well, I guess I'm wrong, but
that's okay. We've all been there before.
So then, okay. So obviously, Michigan and Ohio State can't both make it.
Can.
Most likely not.
I don't know if you listen.
One of them's got to lose.
Yeah, but it just depending on what happens the rest of the way with SEC. Name a 1-loss Ohio State for sure probably gets in. I don't know about a 1-loss Michigan.
Let's say Georgia goes undefeated. The winner of Ohio State, Michigan.
If Georgia goes undefeated, then Alabama loses 2, so they are out finally.
I don't know if they play each other.
They do.
Look it up.
Well, they'll play for the championship.
Yeah. Well, Tennessee, they're not going to play.
What I'm saying is one of those won't be there. So you have to take somebody out of this equation.
Okay, so let's just say
you're not going to get 3 SEC schools.
Okay, so say one SEC school, Ohio State or Michigan. Then what if TCU goes undefeated?
If TCU runs the
table. And then Clemson goes undefeated.
Yeah, probably.
Now, TCU loses.
If Ohio State has now gained Alabama's relevance. So if they go undefeated and we play that game and we say we win that one and it's a close game especially, and then depending on what happens, especially like in that championship game or whatever, then I think you have a chance still of Ohio State getting in. I mean, it's just like that.
It's just not enough spaces.
Yeah, not if Clemson stays undefeated, but to me, Tennessee, Georgia is going to fall off, or you're going to end up with 3 1-loss. And now that's the case, then you might end up with a Tennessee, a Georgia. I mean, it's an SEC. You could get 3 SEC schools in there without a problem.
I was just going to look to see how it. Okay, so the East is Georgia and Tennessee, so they'll have to play each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll give one of those 2 a loss.
Yeah, they play each other after. So Georgia plays Florida next week, then they play Tennessee.
And
they still got to play Kentucky still, too.
Alabama.
And then Tennessee still has
to play LSU, which is coming up.
Yeah, Tennessee still has
Kentucky,
break, I guess. Georgia, Missouri, which has played way better, but South Carolina, Vanderbilt. So,
yeah.
I mean, they could lose one of those, but
I take my kids and drop them off close to Columbia, and I always wear all my KU shit. And there was a game there this week, and we were at a gas station. And every fucker walking in there was wearing Mizzou shit.
Oh yeah,
and I got so many nasty ass looks because I was wearing like all KU stuff, and people are like, "You in the wrong place wearing KU gear? That's pretty brave around here." Yeah.
Not Missouri. I'm not
just
scared.
Keep getting your ass beat by every team in the.
Yeah,
SEC.
I don't know if there's any other team that sneaks that can really sneak in, except for, like I said, somebody falling apart. Because I think in Oklahoma State, especially if a TCU,
Let's pull them up. What do they got left?
Oklahoma State has.
Well, they're not gonna. I mean, unless KU beats them.
They got
somehow, or
K-State,
K-State.
KU, Iowa State, Oklahoma, West Virginia. I mean, and
Now-
you never know that Oklahoma game. Oklahoma could get their shit together for that.
I mean, they
one.
looked really good when they played KU. Who's TCU got left?
TCU's remaining schedule is West
Texas.
Virginia, Texas Tech, Texas.
There's no
Baylor.
reason why they can't be undefeated.
But there's not. But they could lose that Texas Tech game. They could lose the Texas one, and they could lose the Baylor one. So they also have 3 losable games.
yeah, well, everybody's got it.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's why I said Michigan just overlooks the only other. I mean,
Rutgers and
but Illinois.
Nebraska.
Though, Illinois has been good. They are real good. So that's why I said we have plenty of. I mean, we have really our next trip to me would be the Illinois game of overlooking before. So, but we could lose 3 in a row. I mean, we've had some stinkers.
It's
Nope,
that's why they play the game, as they say.
That's why they play the game. Who do you guys got next week?
The bye. We need it.
Yeah, get healthy. See if he comes back.
We need. Jason Bean has a cannon, and he's the fastest dude on our team, but he just fucks up.
Yeah, but if you
There's a reason why he's back.
Yeah, there's that it factor, man. There's a reason why he's
You don't have
transferred
it.
around. And
You don't- He's ugly, and
there was some real good games in football this week. The pro game, the ones that catch my eye is Tom Brady gave up his family and marriage to come back to this team that just lost to 21-3.
Sorry ass.
They've looked, besides beating the Cowboys on opening week, they've had some other wins. They've looked like shit. They look bad. Now they have some problems in health and stuff. The Bengals are starting to look like that team that finished.
what's their record now?
I think they're 4-3. Yeah, 4-3,
Yep.
but they've won 3 in a row. This week they just dominated early on. Chase got hurt. I think he's not big time hurt, but what's his name?
Mariota,
No, why can't I think of Dummy's name?
the white
Joe
boy.
Burrow had
Burrow?
324 yards at halftime passing, 3 touchdowns and 324 yards. He didn't have
Yeah.
to do much after that. Cowboys,
Your boy is back.
Dak was back. They did not look good. The defense looked great. Second half, they got going finally.
Dude, the Lions could fuck up anymore? I mean,
yeah,
Jesus
they're
Christ.
bad. They were hurting him, shooting himself.
I saw
in the
Skip
foot.
out there.
Yeah, he gave up 2 sacks. They put him in. I felt bad. They put him in as an extra tight end on one play and put him on our rookie Sam Williams, and he just ran right over him. And all you see is Skipper rolling and then quarterback getting
Damn
sacked.
it. I don't like seeing Skip not do well.
Skipper did not do good this game. I loved him. My favorite. He got MVP of this game for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Now they look good. I think
He wasn't, yeah. I mean, whoever's fumbling the ball all the time,
I
Goff
think they had
fumbling
like
the ball like 3 times.
5
yeah.
turnovers in the second half or something. So that
like
was
that
pretty
one
bad.
interception that
We
Diggs
talked about
got
it.
was
We've missed a week in between, but we talked about even last time we left here was the smoke and mirrors Giants. I don't know if they are. I want them to be, but they're now. So to start this season off, the NFC East was called the worst division in football. It was,
and now they got the only undefeated
so you have
team.
6-0 or whatever they are. You
Yeah.
have 6-1. You have 5-2, and you now have the Redskins at
Who just
3-5 who just beat the
the
crap out
Packers.
of the Packers, and they've looked good in a lot of games they've been in. So Monday Night Football starting here.
Taylor Heineke, he played for Penn State, right?
Heineke, yeah.
Heineke. Yeah, I
he's-
like him.
I listen to. He's always on that bussing with the boys, and he has some pretty good
Yeah.
stories about like when he was in the. Of course, the only thing that I hate it, he calls brewskis or beers or whatever seltzers, and it drives me crazy.
Maybe he drinks seltzers.
No, because he always says they have some seltzers in the waiting for us to drink when we get out.
Yeah, but he might be drinking fucking
He might, but he's talking about like
everybody else.
Everybody, that's just what he calls anybody's
Oh.
alcoholic drinks is a seltzer, I think. So
Could you imagine if these guys like got on and like talk about how much ass they smashed in college? Like,
well, there's some of them that do on some of those shows,
but like if somebody was just like, say, somebody that was just super famous college football player, and he was just like, could you imagine, like, say even like Caleb Presley, like just got on like, you know how much like ass I smashed
I did
on a daily basis.
I did watch one with the boy Johnny Manziel, and he talks.
Oh yeah.
And he talks about how he made $30,000 a month, whatever. But then they say, "So are you worried they're going to come back and take your Heisman?" He goes, "Never did that on my Heisman winning year. I did that on the 3 and 6 year. And if you want to take away my 3 and 6 year,
Go
come
ahead.
fucking take it, you know."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "You know what? If you want my Heisman, come fucking take it."
Yeah, who cares? Yeah.
He's like, "I think we're past the statute of limitations on
Yeah.
that, and I've probably already may or may not have sold that."
Yeah.
And-
But I mean, that Caleb Presley one with Najee Harris, he's like, "So how much money did you get paid to play
Man,
at
I keep-
Alabama?" He tried so hard
Yeah, I know.
to
I
get him
keep watching.
slipping. He's hilarious.
I watched one where he had that Kodiak Black on.
Yeah.
And he's like, "My name Kodiak Black, but I'm white." And
But
he
he's
just
like,
keeps
"But
doing it.
I'm white."
And then finally, for Caleb Presley's like, "Welcome to the club, man."
He's hilarious, man. You know him and
I watched one where he talks about Glenny Balls. He's like, "Glenny Balls is probably more popular than me. Like, we go places and like people are like, 'Hey, what's up,
yeah,
Caleb?'
and he
they're like,
stays.
but he's the one that goes and parties with
Yeah.
everybody and gets lit. And
I watched the deal on him, like how where he came from, you know, because he was quarterback for North Carolina when Mitch Trubisky was there, and then he ended up just kind of getting a job basically, and then he's got so much personality and shit. But they started with that Barstool bus where they were traveling.
yeah,
I mean, everywhere, going to all these different cities, and you know he was just dominating.
yeah, it's hard to know. I mean,
I mean,
if he's into it, yeah, if he,
you know he is.
we might be
He's
into
so
dudes.
fucking funny, man. I don't know.
Like we did talk about that Washington stop beating the Packers. Is it? You can put it on the receivers, you can put it on the line, but if you are the best quarterback in NFL history, like I keep hearing, Aaron Rodgers is, and he's the self-anointed best quarterback in history, and I think you unplugged yourself. You can only pull on it so long, so many times before it comes unplugged. Dummy.
Did I fix it? Nope. Hello.
Yeah, it fixes it. You got to have your headphones on to hear it. So I do a podcast with TJ.
Jesus Christ. I can't be
it's a-
handsome and buff at the same time.
It's like handsome and you can't be intelligent, handsome, and buff, and you're one of the three. It's time for him to go. Today they name Matt Ryan gets benched, and they named their whatever Sam Ellinger, Texas's Sam Ellinger is the starting quarterback for the rest of the season. So that was funny. Jets, the best team in football that was supposed to be the worst team in football, now 5-2 Jets. The 5-2 Jets. With that Wilson.
They have a good defense, though. So
Nah, and they got sucks is that rookie Hall they got just blew out his knee. They got a
Saw
stud
that.
running back. Broncos suck. Raiders finally get a win. They're 2-5. I thought we haven't talked about this. And McCaffrey going to the 49ers. I know it was game 1 and all that, but it made no difference. I just don't think the
Chiefs are pretty good.
they're real good. Seahawks are real good. Is that a statement? Can you say that statement?
They're good in that division.
They were supposed to be horrible. They were, what are they going to do? You know, you got Geno Smith.
Oh, yeah.
And Geno Smith's been, he threw his first interception of the season yesterday. He's been good. He's one of those guys, ever since that injury, watching, because it was Teddy Bridgewater that blew up his own knee.
But that was in Minnesota, though.
What happened to Geno? Didn't something he hurt?
He got hurt, too.
At the Jets.
I think
though,
he
there was
broke his
something
leg
weird
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like just throwing the ball or
Yeah.
doing something weird. So, and then Dolphins. That's more what I wanted to bring this up for. These, I know when you plan the primetime games out a year ahead, they sound good in your head. But we have had, even like the Cowboys' first game of the year primetime game. It's just been horrible primetime this year. Hopefully this game does something. Bears we're less than 3 minutes in, and the Bears got a field goal. So Patriots have been pretty good lately. I wrote down, you have that poor kid, that Zappy kid that came in for them and has thrown for 300 yards every single game. He's played his ass off. Mac Jones comes back. You just give him the job, It was more just for you to say Cooper. They did the same thing to Cooper Rush.
Yeah. But the only thing is Cooper Rush just kind of had that. Yeah, he had that bad game.
He had that game that proved why yeah. So that was all I had on football. We did have our picks from 2 weeks ago.
If anybody remembers.
Since we didn't do, I don't even know where they went. I have them here somewhere. But since we didn't do a show last week, we've kind of got off on this. So
We should just pick new ones for next week and
But
just
we
go
did
with
have Commanders Bears picked last time, and the Bears or the Commanders won that one, which you picked. We had Jags Colts, which the Colts won that one I picked, and we had New York Ravens, which the New York won, so you picked that. So you got 2 more this week. So, what are you watching? Conway game?
Yeah, I just had this Max Preps pulled up, but I did have something unsports related that I don't really, I was trying to talk to my wife about this, and I don't understand it. And maybe you being the knowledge of women that you may understand.
Okay.
How come sometimes girls, before they have kids, will have nice big tits, right?
Okay.
Then they have kids.
You
and
could just say boobies, but okay. I get where you're going.
They breastfeed, and then after they breastfeed, they don't have boobs no more. Then some girls that are flat-chested have kids, breastfeed, and then end up with big boobs.
I don't know. I think that's, I don't know that.
What's the reason for this?
So I guess my best thought would be,
And some girls just come out even.
My best thought would be that the skinny girl that didn't lose them, did not breastfeed, kept the swelling, didn't breastfeed as regularly, and kept the swelling. They filled in and stayed in there, or maybe got some fat working out in them somehow in between that. I don't know how that would work, but I'm guessing on the opposite end is that little demon baby sucked the life out of those boobs, and so now they're
golf
probably
ball
the
and
same
a sock.
size. They're just now
There's the same amount of
they're
skin
just
there.
now facing the ribs, not
Yeah,
the
I
heavens.
just always kind of wondered that because I was
don't know
talking to
if
my
there's-
wife about that
I
because
don't-
she says she breastfed for a year and her boobs stayed the same size.
I
But
don't know
I
if
know
there's a
somebody else who had real
scientifical-
nice ones and now they don't got no gaudy nothing.
I don't know if there's a scientific answer for that. Are they the same body sizes they were before?
I guess that would probably depend on their weight before and after the
Yeah.
fact.
So if they were a bigger person or whatever before, or if
They
because
became a bigger person.
that's why I say
after.
there are some people that when their body is smaller, they had say their fat percentage went higher to the breast area, and when they gain weight, it seems like it goes other places and does not finish filling out, say, the boob. And I'm one of those people. Like if I was a girl and every time I'd gain weight, my boobs would get bigger.
You think?
Yeah, because my boobs get bigger when I gain weight now. I get boobs and I don't have them if not. So
Mine goes to my ass. I don't know.
I don't have a butt.
I would, if I was a girl, I'd have a fat ass because I already have a big one. So I don't know.
I would have literally no discernible features as a woman. I think I would have decent boobs. I think I would do work to make sure they stayed perky and whatever.
think?
I think I would work on that.
You'd be probably a slut though.
Oh God, yeah. Well, yeah, I think
There'd be so much dick.
I would be no less.
You'd be a bigger slut if you were a girl.
I think I'd have more options. If you're
Well, just
right.
think about it. Like
But I think I would probably still be into chicks.
the thing is, as a girl, there's zero effort to be had to get laid.
I went through a phase where there was zero effort to be had to get laid.
Yeah, but
as
I mean,
well.
I'm sure the guys you were blowing at
I
that
was gonna
time
say
were.
they didn't care.
But I mean, just think about it. It's really unfair if you think about it. Any girl could probably almost have sex with any guy they want at any given time.
That's not true.
That is remote. That is more true than any guy can get any girl that he wants. I'm talking about one time and one time only. I'm talking available men.
I don't know. I mean, I think.
You think if
I
you
think
were
it is easier, yes, because a guy is.
okay, let's put it on even playing field. You're a 7, she's a 7. You guys both go into a bar or whatever, a place wherever these people go to pick up people.
Okay.
That 7 chick is going to leave with a higher number of a dude than a 7 dude would go on and pick up a chick. He's
Most
lucky to leave
likely.
with a 7 or a 4.
Most likely.
And she's going to leave with a 9 or whatever.
It depends money and
For
personality.
I'm talking a one-time deal.
But yeah, if you're saying, but I could pull a 3 out of there just as easy.
Yeah, but I'm talking about on even par. So let's just make it more Casey stuff. Casey at 5 going into a bar could pull a 7.
A change would be me as a 5 going up against a girl as a 5. I think I have a run at it. But me, I'm not. Back in my 7 days.
Yeah.
Against a girl as a 7, you're right, because a 7 girl, once a guy gets drunk, becomes a 12 to a 14.
Yeah, every day.
A 5 girl becomes like a 6.5.
I don't. I think it's higher than that.
I don't know what that 5 is. That line, to me, and I guess it depends on what your definition. I don't really judge women by that, so I don't know. I know what an Oklahoma 5 is.
Well, it'd be like our old margarita days. Like you'd get a 5 out of
But
there.
you knew how that went then. How many girls, if I would have ever even tried once there. I mean, but that was just because I was a good dancer and put myself out there. But I'd get plenty of 40-something-year-old
5s. Yeah.
Yeah, 6s, 5.5s. I was drunk, so they were 6.5s. I think that's about it for tonight. Do you have anything else?
Unless you want to do a couple rap songs, we got time for that.
We could do one here. We're right at an hour.
Let's see here. Let's see if we got cameras still going. Okay, I'm gonna mix them up here. We'll start with You want to just try to guess the song, or you want to try to do both?
I don't care. We can try guess the song.
Now
I
we'll
sucked at it last time.
I'm gonna start with a song that's
Mightily
on the
bad.
radio right now. It's not a rap song, but it's a pretty popular song. Are you ready?
Yeah.
But you act like you're nervous for.
I'm not.
And-
I'm sad. I don't like games I'm not good at.
And by the way, I spoke with a member of the tribe, and he told me to. I guess Conrad made a big deal about this, but he said to even go closer to on the N word, and I told him it's a little too close. I can't. So we're gonna need to come up with something a little better.
Then N-word?
He wanted me to go like
No, don't.
NIG,
No.
and I said that's too close.
That's way too close. I would just
He
say,
says I can.
I would just say brother
You want to use that?
or the just in, and you could just say in, I
Maybe
guess.
I could try that.
I don't know. I know you're saying it because an official brother said you can, but I don't know.
I need to like?
That doesn't. I
Can
don't.
we put like a disclaimer
I was
on
gonna
this?
say if we get him to sign something and then we can.
I speak for all brothers.
like,
that this
maybe
is cool.
then, I don't know. No.
I think I'm scared either way. So
But I wouldn't do it. We're
All
not. Let's not get canceled before we get started.
this song's free of those words. So I don't always wake up in the morning, pour myself a strong one, but when I get lonely, I do. Your memory gets burning. Lean back on the bourbon. Sure as hell can't keep leaning on you.
Is it a country song?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not.
But it's popular right now.
I know, but
It's on every. This guy's
is
not
it
really.
Trace Adkins? Because that's where I stop. That's where
No.
my country stops.
This guy's like super famous, and he has a lot to do with what we just talked about.
He's on The Voice.
No.
Oh.
Looks like I'm learning the hard way again. It's all my fault. Yeah, I dropped the ball. You're gone, and I'm gone. 3 sheets to the wind, thinking about all I've wasted on you.
All right, I give up. What is it?
Morgan Wallen wasted
Okay.
on you.
See, I can't. If you would have just said the racist cowboy, I would have fucking got it.
He didn't. He wasn't.
But
saying
that's how I know him. That doesn't
well,
matter.
I said it had a lot to do with the
I'm a
word we were
liberal.
just
That's
talking.
how I know him.
Well, fuck, that was the best thing he ever did, man.
Oh, I know it made him. He's been
He's
on
huge.
headlined everything.
He's huge. All right.
I just funny because we hired a kid early in the year or the end of last year whose last name was
Wallen.
Waylon. But I always,
like Waylon Jennings.
but I would call him. I would say we hired the racist cowboy, the one that he lost his career, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, that guy that said the N-word to his white buddies, and he got his whole career taken. We're like, he's still famous. I'm like, no, he's not. He works for me now. And then, but apparently,
Wrong
it was
guy.
not the same guy. All right, so let's break it down. What it means.
That song?
Yeah, you can. Basically, no, it's not.
I don't always. We'll just do the first 2 verses. I don't always wake up in the morning, pour myself a strong one.
I don't always get up and get drunk, but
when I get lonely, I do.
yeah,
Your memory gets burning. Lean back on the bourbon.
when it's stuck in my head, I should probably pull back on the bourbon, but I
You
don't.
just get it. Sure as hell, I can't keep leaning on you. Looks like I'm leaning the hard way again. Learning the hard way again.
Yeah, just by being sad and drunk.
Yep.
and
It's
probably-
all my fault.
probably
Yeah, I
waking up
dropped
in
the ball. You're gone, and I'm 3 sheets to the wind, thinking about all I've wasted on you.
But that's probably why she's gone. I mean,
Because he's a drunk.
yeah, we have
and
a
he's a
guy that
fuck
used
up.
to be part of our show that would always, why is my family leaving me? Why,
Mm-hmm.
finish the sentence, bro.
Wonder why. Yeah, I swore this one would be different. My heart wouldn't listen to my head and these boots on my feet.
My heart wouldn't listen to my head. I don't know.
I guess I would think that would mean like his heart
His head
knows
told him to
better,
walk
but
away,
yeah.
but his boots and his feet keep telling him to go back.
Yeah,
I don't know.
guess so. Looks like I'm learning the hard way again.
See, I'll never understand country.
Country's
quite
different.
Frankly. I'm not.
Here you go. This is more your style.
Better be some three
I
doors
guarantee
down.
if you don't get this within the first 2 lyrics of this, I get to punch you in the face.
I get to retaliate, but okay.
Nope. Yo, man, there's a lot of brothers out there flaking and perpetrating, but scared to kick reality.
Regulators!
No.
Oh.
Man, you've been doing all this dope producing. You ain't had a chance to show them what time it is. So what you want me to do?
What you want?
What you want? Yeah. So what you want me to do?
Keep
I'm
going.
expressing with my full capabilities, and now I'm living in correctional facilities. Because some don't agree with how I do this. I get straight and mediate like a Buddhist. I'm dropping flavor. My behavior is hereditary, but my technique is very necessary. Blame it on Ice Cube because he said it gets funky. When you got a subject and a predicate, add it on a dope beat and I'll make you think. Some suckers just tickle me pink to my stomach because they don't flow like this one.
I'm going to lose my rap card.
You're about to. This is pathetic.
Who is it?
Dude.
Who is it? Just tell me. God.
NWA, express yourself.
I don't, I know like 5 NWA songs, okay? I know Fuck the Police.
This is like one of their most popular songs.
Automobile.
Though. Yeah. That one, I would thought about that.
If you would have done Automobile, I would have nailed it. I was never, I liked NWA, but I was pretty young, I
had this tape.
I did not like Eazy.
Yeah.
I liked, because I think when I got
he had
into,
AIDS?
No, when I got into rap, he was beefing with fucking Snoop and Dre, and
Yeah.
I was a Dre guy.
Well, I had this tape, NWA, and I had it on Automobile in my room, I guess. You stop your tape wherever it goes. Apparently, my dad was in my room painting. Hit play on my tape player, and Automobile was on.
Get out!
That motherfucker got taken quickly. And my dad, one of the times he did speak to me back then, he said, I don't ever want to fucking hear that music ever again. And he supposedly tossed the tape, but he just stuck it up in like a cabinet in his shop, which up until we just recently redid the shop, it was been in there for like 20-something years.
So, did you find you a tape player and listen to it?
I don't know. Well, he probably tossed it when he cleaned out his shop. But yeah, that was definitely taken away from my
Oh, man, I listened to that song a lot. And then
Automobile, and then It Don't Matter, Just Don't Bite It. That was one of my
Yeah.
other favorite ones. All right, here we go.
Well, I lost my black card.
Well, if you don't get this one, then you really, really 1,000%.
I've never claimed. I claim to be pretty good at sports. I've never,
Well, if you don't get this, I seriously get to punch you in the face.
Okay.
With so much drama in the LBC. See what I mean?
It's funny that it's kind of hard being Snoop
Yeah,
D-O
it's kind of
double
hard
G.
being Snoop D-O double G. Let's just break this down since you know it. But I somehow, some way, keep coming up with funky ass shit like every single day.
Is there really? I don't know if there's like every day he keeps coming up with like sweet clothes and sweet raps.
Yep. May I kick a little something for the G's? Yeah. And I make a few ends as I breeze through. 2 a.m. and the party's still jumping because my mama ain't home.
2 a.m. they're still partying at his crib because mom isn't home.
I guess
I
she's
guess is where I'm getting from that.
getting dick down somewhere, I guess.
She could be working.
I got bitches in the living room getting it on, and they ain't leaving till 6 a.m.
So is this like? That's the thing I've never got. Is that cool to make chicks get it on and you not to get it on with them?
At that time,
I guess is that
I
like,
guess was
is
that flavorful back
Is
then?
that gangsta? Like you girls get it on while I sit here with my homies.
Like him and his buddies are just like sitting there with
They
hard
did it
dicks
like,
watching.
Yeah, they did it like Conrad and his buddies watch porn. They all sat around and
Just-
and played with themselves watching it.
Just like with the lights down low. And so what you want to do? Shit, I got a pocket full of rubbers, and my homeboys do too.
Oh, so now they're gonna bring it in on these girls.
Yeah.
I think that means that's a pocket full of condoms.
Yeah, I think so.
You
So
think
turn
they
off.
used them back then?
obviously
Well, that
Eazy-E
was
didn't.
AIDS was getting big though, so maybe they were learning from it.
I guess so. I mean, after Eazy-E got AIDS, they probably, they're like, hey man, we probably
There was a bunch of different things, whether that was
Magic
sex
Johnson.
or needles that he got it from. His they think was probably needles.
Magic Johnson or Eazy-E.
Easy.
Yeah, Magic Johnson got
Did you
it
see
from
that? There
blowing dudes.
was a picture the other day that went around, and it was Magic Johnson at like a beach, and it was like 8 chicks around him, and they're all like looking at him, and it says, "Well, we know what happened this day."
Some bitches got AIDS.
Or he did.
Yeah, no shit.
Or I think it said, "This was the day." Was the
This was the
caption.
day it happened. So turn off the lights and close the doors. We don't love them hoes, yeah. So we gotta smoke an ounce to this.
They don't. Yeah, it was just for fun, and then they went and smoked weed. We don't love them hoes. Kick them out.
G's up, hoes down.
Yeah.
While you motherfuckers bounce to this.
I think that's pretty. Like
Dance?
your boys up, girls, down, and then we're gonna bounce to this. It's boys,
Is that blowjob thing?
No, that's bros above hoes.
Oh, bros before hoes?
Yeah.
Rolling down the street. Okay, I don't need to see the hook. Now that I got me some Seagram's gin, everybody got their cups, but they ain't chipped in.
Yeah, he's got him a big bottle of booze, and everybody's, fill me up, man.
Fill me up. Now, this types of shit happens all the time. You got to get yours, but fool, I got to get mine.
Yeah, every time I got my stuff, people wanting it, but I'm going to get mine first.
Everything is fine when you're listening to D-O-double-G. I got the cultivating music that be captivating.
He's got that good music that be getting people's attention.
He who listens to the words that I speak as I take me a drink to the middle of the street. It's funny, you break these down. It's like, that's actually
Oh, yeah, some
good shit.
Some of them was just finding a word to rhyme
Yeah.
with, and then sometimes it was, no, Dre, he was good. Of course, I don't even know that he wrote most of his, I think, but.
And get to macking this bitch named Sadie.
Used to be the homeboys lady.
Yep. 80 degrees when I tell that bitch, please raise up off these nuts because you got none of these.
See, I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that. I don't know if he was she was going down on him and he said get off these nuts. I think it's just more like, bitch, you ain't, like I'm not your man.
Yeah, she used to be the homeboys lady. Oh, that bitch. 80 degrees when I tell that bitch, please.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he used to be the homeboys lady. Get off. I ain't.
Yeah.
I ain't no man material.
Yeah. At ease as I mob with the dog pound, I feel the breeze, bitch. I'm just rolling down the street smoking Indo.
That was when he was at ease with his new crew, man.
Mm-hmm. Later on that day, my homie Dr. Dre came through with a gang of Tanqueray.
Tanqueray, that's a
Tanqueray.
drink.
That's a drink
they drink.
And a fat-ass J of some
Bubonic
chronic. That made me choke.
That's a marijuana joint.
That's kind of like how you were doing last time. You were choking on that.
Mm-hmm. On the marijuana joints.
Yep. Shit, this ain't no joke. I had to back up off it and sit my cup down of Tanqueray and chronic. Yeah, I'm fucked up now.
I basically had to pull back. He's pretty drunk.
Because he was
good.
getting. But it ain't no stopping. I'm still popping. Dre got some bitches from the city of Compton. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I think we got it.
To serve me not with a cherry on top, because when I bust my nut, I'm raising up off the cot.
Yeah, so basically,
That's such a good one that he
he's getting up.
his back was arched, bro.
See, that's where I don't know if she's riding him or sucking him at that point. But either way,
I mean, either way, it was like toes curled.
yeah. Those girls knew how to curl toes back in the
Don't
day.
get upset, girl. That's just how it goes. I don't love you, hoes. I'm out the door.
Don't get mad when I bust. I'm gone.
That's it, man. The rest of it's lyrics.
There's some. I don't know. I heard something. He's maybe coming out with something. Him and Snoop, and they're back in writing, and then all of a sudden, like the original Chronic got pulled off of like all the streaming sites, and so I don't know if that reads into it or not. I think Chronic 2001's still there, but the original Chronic's gone. I did debate that on one show one time, whether, the original Chronic or Chronic 2001 was bigger. But for me, it was 2001 probably just because, I think you killed yourself again. Did you turn it off again? You keep spinning the mic and shutting it off. You got to stop playing with the fucking mic, dude.
Well, it doesn't get tall enough for me.
But
Maybe
you
I
keep
need to lower my
spinning
seat.
it and turning it and doing, You
don't worry about what
you'll
I'm
learn
doing.
it eventually. I'm not, other than I'm trying to talk to you and then your mic goes off. But that's okay. It makes good radio.
There, I'll just lower my seat down, and now it's
Now you
my
look
level.
kind of goofy, but we'll see how that looks on now.
Now I look like a midget.
We'll get you a taller mic stand.
Yeah, we do need that.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. We'll be back
Looks
next
like
week.
he's hurt.
Yeah, I'd say carted off. That's usually, of course, whatchamacallit, there was a player that's 2 weeks in a row or 2 times now he's been carted off and he just had to go poop. Oh,
Paul Pierce.
No, Metcalf.
Speaking of guys getting carted off, when Kobe Bryant got hurt, broke his leg, like between his shin.
Yeah.
They parked the cart 10 yards away from him and made the fucker walk. I mean, there was plenty of room for them to pull the cart right up there, and I don't understand that.
If you're the baddest man on the earth, you can walk.
He's not. He's just a cornerback. He's just a boy.
Different Kobe Bryant.
No,
I thought you were talking
he's dead.
about.
He died in a helicopter
I was gonna
crash.
say, I didn't know if you were watching games in heaven or what.
No, he's yeah, he's up there. You think he wears number 8 in heaven or 24?
I don't know. I think he just switches it off. I think depends how he's playing. He gets mad, he just switches back.
Yeah, I preferred 8 Kobe Bryant to 24 Kobe.
I didn't like it because the reason for number 24.
Because he got in trouble.
No, because he wanted to be one better.
Oh yeah,
and he never was one better. No,
different.
I don't know. You know, it's funny. We'll leave with this. My whole life, I thought that Jordan was this good guy and Kobe was the bad guy because he raped one girl. Okay, come to find out, they're both not very good guys. So sorry,
not really raped. Unwilling in the butthole.
Sex with the. I thought. Oh, is that what it was? I thought I thought the whole thing was a rape.
No, he just stuck it in her butt without her liking it.
But I don't think she thought they were even going to have sex. So
well,
of course you don't go into.
I thought that she had already had sex with him before. I don't know.
I don't know. No, I'm just joking. It was more of a swipe on Jordan, and he's still my favorite basketball player. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Later.